Okay, so today we open here in the middle between 600s and 500s. Let's see how this will play out if we're going to manage to rally up to 600s and then we find resistance and this could be a good short, or if it's just going to retest opens low, days low, and rally up. Okay, so I shorted here at pivot point resistance around this range resistance. Let's see if price can now retest 500s and days open price. Okay, so straight down move. I bought here for the reversal. Let's see if it will be able to rally back up now. These are my targets. So let's see how far up can this go. If it's going to retest pivot point or even higher, or if it's just going to collapse further downside. Okay, so very clear levels so far which I use here. Initially resistance at pivot point, I shorted for the momentum downside. It worked immediately. This is not the case all the time. So support here at days open price and to the tick precision here, as you can see, at 500s. So I bought it here. Let's see if it will be able to go up to 600s. Okay, so let's see this 150 lots here at 600s.
Stop filled.
If price will rally aggressively up. So initially found resistance here at 600s. Let's see if my short here at 602 will be able to hold the position down to hold the price down to pivot point for a reversal. Otherwise this will just be a continuation and we'll have a 670s retest. Okay, so things changing fast. I bought here for a breakout. Let's see how far can this go, if it's going to have any resistance at these levels, yesterday's initial balance levels. Okay, so I shorted here once again at 600. Let's see how much price can go down, if it's going to retest pivot point or even lower. Okay, so price held resistance here. Let's see now if this kind of consolidation area will hold the price and then we have this kind of pattern, or if it just collapses and retest the days open price. Very nice move so far. Very good European cash open. For the way I trade, which I respect this kind of major levels like 500, 600 and days open price. And this pattern is called neutral reversal pattern because price opens in the middle of two intraday psychological levels. So price held support, then held resistance. Now let's see if this kind of double bottom here will hold the price for a further upside, or if it's just going to collapse and retest here at days open price. Okay, so price looks like held support here at 50s, as I was explaining. Let's see now if this is going to happen now and how it will behave up to 600 if it goes there. Price held a pivot point so far. The more time price spends between equilibrium line and initial balance high, higher the probability will go further downside. Let's see if it goes at 700s. Euro dollar collapsing below 110 is going to be helpful for more upside. So let's see. Price gradually making higher lows. Let's see if this support at 600s will be able to break out initial balance high and then we'll have a move up to 700s later in the day, or if this is just going to collapse and consolidate sideways. Okay, so let's see this 150 lots here at 87, how market will react, if it's going to bounce up or if it's just going to sell off hard here. Let's see if this is going to get filled. Price just consolidated sideways with support here at 90s with some fake outs as well. Now rallied above 600s. Let's see if it will manage to break up to the upside here, initial balance high, and how it will behave here at 70s, here at 650s, then at 70s, and then eventually up to 700s, or this is just going to be a fade again. So price gradually rallied here above 600s. Let's see how far can this go, if it will, and how it will behave here at 50s, and then eventually later in the day if it's going to break out resistance one pivot point and touch and retest 600s, 700s here. So it looks like it accelerates. So let's see. So today's European cash open, it is like this. I call it neutral reversal pattern, which price opens in the middle of 600 and 500, then hold support, then rally, then a continuation rally. Another example similar to this is this one, which is again a consolidation in the middle of a range, then support, then rally, then breakout and continuation rally. So I use to archive this kind of patterns in order to be able to anticipate the highest probability move before the market even begins to move. So with this way I manage my expectation much better rather than just thinking about it. So I have archived many of these kind of setups and I'm watching accordingly to see if the price action will do what I anticipate it to do. So price failed to hold here above initial balance high of the day, sold off with initial support, then broke down 600 and then sold off. Let's see now how this pivot point or equilibrium line 550s area will hold, and if it's managed to hold the index to the upside, or if this is just going to collapse further back down to today's open price or 500s. Very important price action here. Once in touch equilibrium line rallied, then failed to hold above 90s, which was this kind of area from earlier. Now let's see if this kind of double bottom retest will have a move higher, or if it's just going to break it down and retest days open price and 600 and 500s. So the more time price spends between these two lines, the higher the probability will go further upside. I didn't like this kind of failed upside move, which looks like it could be valid this kind of concept. But again, let's see this kind of double bottom here if it managed to go up to 600, it's an initial balance high. So we can see here a very clear support every time price touches this equilibrium line of initial balance of today's initial balance zone, then rallies. I keep buying every time it does that, as soon as I saw in the first place here, and with a tight stop below. Let's see how far can this go, if it will be able to go up to 600 or even initial balance high. So this is what you need to do. You need to identify intraday levels which work for X and Y reasons, and then trading against them. So this could be very good long opportunities 3 times now. So let's see how this will go, if this will go further upside. Okay, so price one, once it failed to break down this equilibrium line of the day, and third time accelerated hard and broke out 600. Let's see if it's possible to go for a retest up to today's high or even higher up to 700 later in the session. So price managed to rally all the way up to 600 as I was anticipated, and even 612 initial balance high. Now zigzagging upon 600. Let's see if this could be a very good short for a retest of 560s again. So price after this kind of triple bottom here rallied up to initial balance high, then a series of 3 lower highs with a tick precision here resistance at 600. Let's see if and how it will behave here at the equilibrium line. If this breaks down, then it will possibly have a move down to 500. Otherwise this will just consolidate sideways with a higher probability of going more upwards if this holds above this equilibrium line. Okay, so let's see now if price will be able to break to the upside. Again, the more hours spent between these two lines here, the higher probability will go further upside. Let's see if it manages to break out earlier high. Okay, so price initially held resistance here at initial balance high, then sold off, then reversed and rallied up to 600. You can see here immediately supported. Let's see how far up can this go and how it will behave here. I'm targeting 700s, might be optimistic, but let's see if it goes up there. So let's see this into perspective on the daily. Now we held this Paris attacks, terror attacks low yesterday. Today we failed to retest it, so let's see how up can this go, and if it's going to break today's high and go even higher, and let's see by how much. We can see here a pullback and an initial support at initial balance high. Let's see if this can hold and will be able to rally above, or if this is just going to collapse back inside this range of earlier trading. So price failed here once again at day's high, then a series of lower highs, then a breakdown here at 600. Let's see how far down can this go and how it will behave here at day's open price and 500s. So DAX gradually held support here at 600 and move higher. Let's see now if it managed to hold above today's high and then eventually higher at 700s. Price failed once again here to hold above earlier high at and above 650s. Let's see now if this can pull back down to 600 or 612s. So price sold off 40 plus points from this previous low high, failed to hold above. You can see here clear resistances at 60s level. Let's see now if it can go further down before or after the European cash market close like yesterday. So price generally today ranged in a kind of choppy fashion. So let's see what happens. Initially great support here at 500 in days open price, then rally, then choppily broke out, then reversed back in. Perfect supports here 3 times. Then resistance here at initial balance high, sell off prior to US Open, then initial sell off, then breakout, failed to break day's high, then support here at 80s, then failed breakout as well, then sell off up to initial balance high.